Hello everyone, welcome back. Okay, this is the rock over tree challenge that Nate gave me. So I built this rock out of polystyrene and then I covered it with cement and painted it and that, and I have the tree coming out from underneath there, coming down, so it's basically planted upside down, the tree. So it's doing good, it's starting to grow now. So I'm not going to do any work on the actual tree, I'm just leaving that recover. What I'm going to do is just clean up here a bit. You can see the bottom's nice and kept moist and that, but up here the moss is drying out. These are just a couple of rocks again that I made. The handy thing with making it out of polystyrene is this is so light. This was a rock, it started getting a bit heavy. So I just want to clean up here a bit, because the soil that I have on here is drying out very quick, so it's also drying the moss off a lot. So we'll just remove all the moss first. You can see this honeysuckle is growing quite good too. I'll probably give that a trimming as well while we're at it. So I'm just going to prune back a bit some of these branches so you can see a bit more of the trunk, and we can start training this to look a bit more like a miniature tree, like the one I have on my little stone wall penjing. So I'm not going to be fussy now, I'm just basically going to chop it back, basically hedge prune it, and as it grows and thickens up, then we'll start looking at it and deciding what's tying it a bit better. But for now, we'll just do that. Okay, so this soil I have on here, it's just basically my bonsai soil. It's quite dry, so I'm going to take a bit of that off, find something to put it into. Okay, so one, it's created a little bit of a well now. Now I'm just going to put a fine layer of, should I use sand or should I use, I suppose I could use my very, very fine Dharma, this stuff. When I'm ordering my soil, I just get a bag of this fine stuff. By the time you sieve your soil, you end up with some of it anyway, but never enough for what I use it for. I use it for my pasts and all that kind of stuff, and like that it's good for underneath your mosses and things. It doesn't dry out as much as the thicker, more coarse soil. So we'll just put a thin layer down there so that the moss has something a bit better to grow on. Stamping that off. We'll place our rocks back on. Just put one maybe here. This one we'll put back here again, say, there. Actually, I'm just going to nip out there. So my wife went for a little walk today and picked up a few more of these tiny ferns. They just grow in the stone walls around here. Like you see, one here is growing. So I'm going to put one in here. I did have one in here, but I forgot about it and it ended up dying. And what I might do is just use a bit of this old moss to put in here. Maybe we'll put it upside down like that, and then maybe this bigger one here. Just make a hole through the moss. That will hopefully help hold some moisture in there. Just stick that in there. I just kind of grab some small ones. They can grow quite big. There is a little fern in here. There's a tiny one there, but it's not doing great. But you can see the moss has been holding the moisture on it. So we'll just give it a fresher piece of moss that's full of weeds. Put that in again. Now, maybe, do we want to fern down here? The base of the tree, maybe we could just stick one in there like that. There's moss up here, but again, it kind of gets forgotten about. And then I'm thinking, do we want a little fern on up here? I think we could put a little one. Maybe this one's kind of hanging and kind of spread. That'll spread down the face of the rock a bit. Okay, so now we'll freshen up the moss now. So I've had to go and rub a bit of moss off some of my other things, but because we've not got any moss growing at the moment with the heat we're having. Keep it wetting down. The idea of these rocks up here is it makes it so that there's a well underneath there where the water will run and flow down through to make sure it waters this tree, which it does well. It pours out through the bottom, so it does work good. Use a bit of this heavy stuff on this side to mix it up a bit. Some of this stuff here. You don't need to cover the whole thing in moss. Moss will spread and it will also help leaving gaps here and there just for water to collect. Okay, so that looks pretty good now. We can keep on top of it. There's a couple of little weeds down here. See, the moss down here is growing really well because it stays moist. Weeds before they start growing a bit too big. Yeah, so just the tree obviously survived. I wasn't 100% sure how good it'd do upside down, but it has done. Okay, so that's that sorted out. So we'll put that back out on the bench. We'll give this a good soaking. And like I said, when I water this, the water pours out through the hole. So put the moss will hold some of the moisture in up there for that. Okay, so we'll put that out of the way and we'll get up our next tree. Okay, so our second tree is this guy. This is these were just a couple of leftover bare rooted larch that I had. So I just planted them around this rock. This rock has a hole through the centre of it. So I planted one through the centre. So the roots are all in under here. There's kind of a big groove out of it. So it seems to be doing okay. It's getting enough water, as you can see. So I just want to clean up the landscape a bit and just give this a little bit of a pruning. There's a couple of these branches starting to take off a bit. So we'll start with that. Glasses on the head again, Chris. So I'm not going to go too crazy with the pruning. Just basically some of these ones that are getting a bit heavy up top here with too many branches on them. You can see the little buds on the branches, so you know where the next branch is going to come from. Okay, so that's about it really. I'm not really here to prune the trees as such, I just want them to grow. But things like this I don't want up here. So take that one off. I'll take that one off. This one down here too can be reduced a bit. One growing in there, we'll get rid of that one. And then again, same with this one. Too much heavy, strong growth up the top here, so just reduce that back a bit. I think I'll also take the wire off this one now. I just put some wire on it to straighten it up. Just finish pruning it back a bit first. Some of these are getting a little long. We want the top ones to be not as strong as these bottom ones. We want these to grow a bit stronger. Okay, so we'll clip off that wire. So we'll just start at the top here and just snip it. Don't want to be trying to unwind it, you start disturbing all the roots and stuff. This was just because it was a crooked trunk, to straighten it up a bit. It's getting hot in here again. I was gonna thing to tell me how hot it is in here. So I'd say it must be in the 30s in here now. This shed gets really hot. I can't really open the door because you'll end up with outside noise then. Okay. So that's it, yeah. Just one branch here growing up, I'll get rid of that one. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the video a minute and cool the room down. Okay, while I was cooling the place down, I did notice that got a bit of a kink here in this trunk, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this off here, use that as our new apex, and this one I'm going to reduce the top down a bit as well. And this one here, I think I need to just straighten up a little bit. Thought I can do that by just putting a bit of a rock. I had a rock here holding this one, but I want to secure now. So just drop that in there. See, it's a bit big, that rock. Let's see if I've got something smaller. Let's first just straighten it up a little bit. And then the top of this will straighten up as well. Let me just see if there's a bud on this side. I don't see any yet, so I won't prune it yet. But when I get a bud on this side, I'll prune it and get it growing that way. Okay, so obviously needs good weeding. This moss at the front here, it's full of this wood sorrel stuff, so I'm going to take off the whole bit of moss we can, and hopefully get the wood sorrel with it. They have these seed pods on them, and then when you they're not ready yet, but when you touch them, when they've dried out, you touch them, they explode and send seeds everywhere. So you want to be trying to get them out before they dry out, and it spreads like crazy through you. You're planting the root to it. Some of the roots as well there. There's a root from one of the trees, presumably that one. Some more here. The problem with it is it spreads around you, around the pot, and the roots just snap so easy, so it's quite hard to pull them out. See, they just snap. And before you know it, your entire pot will be full of the roots. I have a juniper that I think I'm going to have to repot, because there was so much this wood sorrel in the root, in the pot. As soon as you neglect it for a little while, it just spreads. So you see, they just snap. So crazy. Okay, so it looks okay. Weeds here. And you have the tree roots around the front as well, so that's good. They're obviously growing around and across here, filling the pot. Not too worried about this moss at the back. This is just basically to keep the soil, like obviously your packed soil in there, and to keep the moisture in. I've got a bit more of this again on top here. This is a bit high, could be scraped back, but the roots are all in the top of it now. I think I have to kind of plant it a bit high because they were bare rooted. I couldn't really chop a lot of the root off. Still have a lot of moss, so we got a little bit here, but all this out the way. Put all the old stuff on top of the good moss. So kind of try try and put up the front anyway, kind of hold the soil back from falling out. Normally I'd put it around the base of the rock. Let's see if I've got anything else. Normally I'd kind of line the base of the rock with it like that. Just to make the rock look like it's been there a long time. It kind of helps. Thick, but we can maybe show it in a bit. Okay, I think that's all the here. I'll just stick that in there. Yeah, that'll do. We'll spread. And when we do get more moss, we can always fill it in. And we have a hole here in the rock, a small bit, so maybe we can put one of these ferns in there. What have we got left? I've got 2 left, is it? Tiny one. One's jumped away from me. So, you get that one in there. See if I can push it in. These just grow. I find these just growing in the cracks of stone walls around where I live. Now I've lost a big one here too. Maybe we could stick the big one in under here. Like that. Put this little one just at the base there, it'll do. There's another hole here, we could have put one in, but it's at the back. Okay, I think that'll do for this guy. It's just a little bit of clean up. A little bit of pruning on the trees. I'll keep my eye on the trees because, like I said, I don't want them getting heavy on the top and losing energy down here. But I don't want to go prune them too much right now. They're just kind of starting to grow. Okay, whew, I'm sweating. Right, so we'll leave it at that for this video. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. So, like I said, these were just 3 leftover trees that I got. I got a bunch of bare rooted ones online, and these were just leftovers, so I just used them for this planting. So yeah, I like that. I always think put a rock in amongst them. If I just put the 3 trees by themselves, it'd probably look a bit boring. But with the rock there and one growing out the centre of the rock, it just gives a bit of a little bit more of looks a bit better. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. So as always guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and all that stuff, and we'll see you on the next one.